Hello everyone, in this video I'm sharing the latest upgrade to my home theater. If you follow my channel, you know I recently sold my Outlaw 5000 amplifier. It was the older version without balanced connections. With my new processor, I made the move to XLR, so I needed an amplifier with XLR inputs. Changing gear, upgrading gear, doing all the research, for me, the entire process is a lot of fun. There are a lot of amplifier options out there. As fun as it was, I did suffer through some indecision and overthinking. Ultimately, I decided on the Buckeye 4-channel NC502MP. This is a Class D amplifier, 350 watts at 8 ohms, 500 watts at 4 ohms, and these measurements are at 1000 hertz, 1% total harmonic distortion. That's a ton of power with very little distortion. I got it to power my overheads. They don't require a lot of power, and being overhead channels, they aren't doing a whole lot of heavy lifting. So this is far more power than I need, but I'm making some changes to the room. More to come on those changes in a later video. This may end up powering my front LCR. So I wanted to be sure I had enough power to feed whatever speakers I chose to upgrade to in the future, especially if they end up being especially power hungry. But like I said, I'll get more into future plans in a later video. This is a Class D amplifier. I have no firsthand experience with Class D amplifiers, and that gave me just a little bit of hesitation, the not knowing, but after doing my own research on paper, it seemed like the right choice for me. This is a relatively small unit weighing only 12 pounds. It's 12 inches wide, 13 inches deep, and 3.5 inches high. Despite its size, like I said, it can produce a ton of power. I won't go into the science and engineering of it all, but ultimately Class D amplifiers in general are very power efficient. This particular amp has an efficiency of 92%, which means 92% of the power it produces is used. The remaining 8% is waste that gets converted to heat. Compare that to a typical Class AB amplifier, which is about 50 to 78% efficient. A lot less waste, a lot less heat. That said, I have to admit my monolith does not get especially hot to the touch, even after hours of use, but it's a big heavy beast with a huge toroidal power supply and massive heat sinks. Fidelity is a huge factor. It has a signal to noise ratio of 124 dB and total harmonic distortion of 0.0018% at 250 watts at 4 ohms. So it's producing a lot of power with no real discernible distortion, even when pushed hard. And the other main factor for me was cost. Price to performance is pretty good. For just over $1,100, I get 4 channels. 500 watts per channel. It can sustain those peak power spikes during movie watching and virtually no distortion at my listening volume. So I think it's priced well for its performance. Feeling this in my hands, it feels solid, very well constructed. Came well packaged and protected as you saw in the unboxing. Again, only 12 pounds, feels relatively light to me in my hands. While it shouldn't produce a lot of heat, that doesn't mean it produces no heat. So there's some ventilation on the top and bottom of the unit, no heat sinks inside, but the aluminum case itself should act like a heat sink and draw heat away from the electronics and cool to the room. I did purchase an air com to keep it cool just in case. When I do my demos, I'll check the temperature and see how warm it gets. I can't imagine it getting too warm since, like I said, my monolith never gets hot. Just an unboxing and a quick look for this video. I'll put in some time with this over the next several days, then I'll do a follow-up video. If you have any questions or comments about the Buckeye NC502MP, leave those in the comments section below.